FM.
I'm here with SB.
Yeah, Apostle.
Everybody knows you catch your voice every morning,
Apostle.
Monday to Friday,
Apostle.
from 10 to 2.
Yeah.
So is Dachi. Hello, Dachi.
Hi, Apostle.
This thing about your name, I love the Hilda bitch, but can we say Hilda Dachi?
No, please.
Dachi only. All right. So good afternoon, Dachi.
Good afternoon, Apostle.
How was your weekend?
It's quite good. Yourself?
Well, I rested quite a bit, and I know that there was love and laugh.
Sure.
I need to see some shots from that stuff. Actually, were you there?
Unfortunately, I couldn't make it.
You and I.
SB's weekend was packed up,
Yeah,
so she couldn't make it.
Well,
But not to worry.
there should be another
I'll
time.
send
Yeah,
you
there
all
should be
of
another
that.
edition.
All right, you can hear us getting into the mood. We are building up slowly. Don't worry, it's going to be hot. But this month, on the 26th of this month, we're still in the Valentine mood, and something is coming up.
Yeah.
Sex and Sensuality seminar is coming up.
Yeah.
We'll
We can't
tell you
wait
more
for
about
it.
it. So, this morning I had a message from Doctor and my cousin, Dr. Valentine
Okay.
Mood.
Yeah, probably can take some tips.
Yes.
Okay.
I should have posted it on the platform, but I just got it when I was coming in here. You know, he's going to be on the bill for the Sex and Sensuality Conference. Yes, he's going to be there. He just posted me something, and he says, we waste time looking for the perfect lover instead of creating the perfect lover.
I love that.
I should send it to you.
Yeah, do.
We have to put it on social
Yeah.
do some artwork and see. So instead of creating a perfect lover, we go
searching for it.
searching for it.
I don't even have someone like perfect.
Pick it up. Pick the imperfect. Make it perfect. Make it your own.
Ultimate FM.
Listen, I have a belief. When we start looking at these subjects and thinking that it can happen, that's where we fail. If you want to be perfect, it's growing into perfection. So once you move from stage A to B, you have moved one step into perfection. So you are perfect when you relate it to where you were. That's a growth. But we look at it so negative that people are not encouraged to do the update to become perfect.
So becoming perfect means that you without anything wrong, no wrong.
Is it possible?
No, I don't think so. I mean, someone may have their, bit of, I don't know how to put it, but someone may be, perfect in his own way, but not entirely perfect. Maybe a little bit have,
So when you say that, then you are suggesting that somebody somewhere is marking my life to become perfect unto him, right? How do you do that? How do you do that?
So, we all have our weakness, we all have our strength.
But there is perfection in our weakness.
Yes, you can work on this, but you can never perfect it.
That's why we can't get there. For example, they say corruption in Ghana, and nobody wants to start correcting it because now everybody is giving up. Truly, if you look at where it starts from, very low, from the schools, from the teachers, from the officers, everywhere, down to the politicians. So you give up. But if you give up, how do we solve the problem? Because it's worrying us. So I have a philosophy. You develop into perfection. And once you set your feet to develop, your plans to develop it, you will get there. That's what I mean.
All right.
So let's start thinking that way, positively. We'll get there. So you can get a perfect man. Why not? I work with an engineer, Mr. Boham, very great guy, a fancy guy. The name Boham, fancy guy. He was one time the project manager for Ghana Water Company. It used to be Ghana Water and Sewerage Company some years back. And he was the project manager, very good engineer. I went to him to have a chat with him. I was trying to get him to church. He told me, go to my wife. I said, why? I said, I don't have a problem. And truly, I can't count of more than one perfect gentleman that I have met.
Ultimate
Trust
FM.
me. From human point of view, you can't get anything wrong with him. Oh yes.
Is it okay? Let me hold back with that.
He won't complain. He's everything. Everything is okay with him. As long as
Probably he's perfect in your sight to you because probably some things that he showcased to you may seem perfect, but to other person who may be new to him, or someone may hate him for one or two things.
Listen, surely you hate him because he's so principled. I mean, you can't go to him and try to find a way out of issues. He won't agree to that. I work with him on a project.
All right.
And so, listeners, don't let anybody deceive you. We can grow into perfection. That's Hima. You're not talking. Is it difficult to grow into perfection?
It's not difficult.
Yes. Yes. We are not perfect,
Yeah.
but it doesn't stop us from growing to perfection. And let's relate it to relationship. If we hold a point that, well, everybody has his weakness, then you're not going to develop a lover that you can be satisfied with. But if you make up your mind that you do it, so today we'll start looking at the broad picture, the difference between being in love and loving someone.
That's deep.
It's deep. It's deep. And that is going to be the theme of our seminar. So we'll start discussing it from today. But let's go to the issue of the day, if you have it.
Yeah, we do.
Let's see what will happen. How we break it down to suit the subject.
Yeah.
Yes,
So this is our issue of the day. My heart's burning. I've deleted my boyfriend for 3.5 years and I feel it means nothing to him. I'm not the money type. I always dance to his tune. In all the 3 Valentines and Christmas celebration we've been together, I don't force him for gifts. Early January, I was broke because government hadn't released our salaries on time, which he knew. He works as a lab technician and a photographer. The screen of my laptop cracked and I needed $2,000 to repair. I asked him and he pretended not to hear. I thought he was kidding.
Ultimate FM.
In the middle of January, I decided to play hard on him. I wasn't calling him. I never returned his calls for a week. We attend the same church and the last Sunday of January, I went to church. The moderator announced that my boyfriend is about getting married on the 12th of February. And I thought I was dreaming. I checked the church group to see the flyers flooded in it. On that Sunday after church, people were staring at me in a different mood, murmuring, I don't know what to do anymore, and he's not ready to explain to me.
Wow.
Yeah.
What did he say? The last statement, I don't know what to do anymore.
Yes.
And he's not explaining.
Yes, he's not even ready to explain himself.
You know why I'm excited?
Why? Tell me.
It falls within the subject that we want to be discussing.
Yeah. Yeah.
You should be able to know whether someone loves you. You should be able to know. It's a case of loving someone and not knowing whether the person loves you back. That's precisely what is going on. There are a lot of many men and women who are suffering this kind of issue quietly. Some of them have been married for 20 years, 30 years, and they're still in, truly. So I think we are on the right track. Unfortunately, it's too close to Valentine. Some people are getting ready to fall in love giddy by tomorrow morning.
Oh goodness. And they'll be prepared to leave out giddy with some tears after Valentine's.
When they are leaving, it's not giddy. It's slow with some tears.
Oh goodness.
Oh Jesus, help us. Well, that's him. This is the case of a lady. I don't know. She's already feeling sad for the lady.
Now, there's this question I would want to ask. Okay. What do we ladies look out for in a man before giving in our all? The reason I'm asking this question is because of what this lady is saying.
Yeah.
You've been in a relationship for 3.5 years. You've been together, so at least for 3.5 years, there are lots of things you've gotten to know about your partner. And then asking him for help, like financially, he's denying you. I don't think the finances alone
Ultimate FM
would have been the reason for the guys, should I say, the change between the both.
Yes,
that
you're
alone.
right.
And
It
then,
wouldn't.
And then suddenly you go to church and then you get to know that your guy is about to get married to another lady. They are in the same church. So what is it that for 3.5 years was happening between the both of them that the lady didn't see it coming until
Great question.
I don't get it.
Yes, and I'm sad that you belong to a church and suddenly there's no intervention, because if I have 2 people like this in my church, and from what she has said, it appears that people in the church know.
That's why they knew they were going on.
So the pastor is the one who has failed, because you shouldn't behave as if you don't know what's going on. When the guy came to you and told you, I'm getting ready to marry, and you are the pastor of the lady,
knowing that the same guy is going out with another lady in the church.
It won't happen to me.
When they started counseling, where was this
it won't happen
3.5 years
because
relationship lady?
There's deep information in this girl's stuff, and we will have to go at it, slowly. Look, first let's start from the church. The leaders of the church, they are poor. Very poor. Sadly, very poor. Because and you have announced a marriage. Now they may come with the defense that the lady didn't approach us, but
at least in a church,
and you see 2 of your members, a male and a female, walking closely. Look, there's nothing wrong with the pastor
things.
inviting. Hey, come here. Even one. You don't bring the 2 together. One day they'll come. I see this one is your friend. What's in this friendship? At least start from the women, because the women are the ones that suffer.
We're going to tell it all.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. I went to a church where the head pastor complained that one of his junior pastors has been playing around with over 3 different girls, and he told each one, I'm going to marry you.
Wow.
And was asking me, because the guy was valuable to the pastor, and he didn't know how to deal with it. And I told him, this is wrong love. If you get your associate doing that,
Ultimate
it's coming back to you. But you're working with me. It won't happen. It won't happen. So I asked him, call the guy, tell him to choose one of them. And after that, get the two ladies and tell them, this guy, that's it. And let the people, the two girls will go over pain, but that's better. 2, 3, 1 month, 6 months, they've gone over the pain. They start life again. Instead of hope. And then one day, you hear the announcement. The church has failed. So, if my pastor friends are listening, these are things you shouldn't close your ears to. You should be observing your church members, because sometimes you have to help them. Because I have done that. I've called a gentleman who I saw was close to a lady and said, don't go that direction. Somebody will feel bad, but it's always better to do that. So that's the first thing. Now, this lady, for 3 years, there are signs that this guy really doesn't care about your welfare.
3.5
your
solid
welfare.
years.
Your welfare. Which is the cardinal sign that this young man really has you in mind. Because it's not about gifts. And I'm sad that he's talking about 3 Valentine days. I'm a poor gift giver.
But Apostle, you know what? There are some men, if you don't ask them, if you're dating them or you're married to them, and then you feel you are independent, you don't want to put all your burdens on him, and then you want to depend solely on yourself. There are some men who wouldn't bother thinking twice that my wife is not a demanding type, so sometimes let me just surprise
I agree with you.
And then there are some men too, if you don't ask, they might even think, no, there are some men, if you don't ask, they might even think someone else somewhere is sponsoring you. But with this lady, I'm sure because the guy had an agenda, that is why he refused in buying her gifts and then providing for her. And that is also the reason why when she became broke and then started asking the guy for help, he refused.
Yeah, that's one great point which I just want to top up. From the onset, you get to know that this guy really did not think about the relationship the way the lady was thinking about it.
And
Ultimate FM.
Looking at it from this perspective, how these two even landed in the relationship, who proposed to each who, and then to what was the basis of their relationship. Were they just in the relationship because they found themselves attracted to each other, so they decided to get together with each other, or what really was the basis of their relationship? So I'm actually thinking about these, and like you said, I think the lady spotted is from the onset, because if you find yourself in a relationship with someone and the person is interested or not interested, you get to know from the start. So if you are championing the communication between the two of you, if every idea comes from you, but the man is not topping up or giving anything that is helping you guys move forward, he's not talking about the future or anything, that it's better you know that you are in this alone.
Sometimes you will not know. You know,
no, you
some
always
men.
see.
So,
If you are vigilant, you will.
There are some men who can pretend for a whole year,
For 3.5 years.
and then being in a relationship with a man for a year. As long as the guy has an agenda, knowing very well you're into his life or he's into your life just to use and dump you, having a serious lady somewhere, they can pretend for God knows how
there
long.
will always be a track.
Maybe this new girl came in like a year ago.
It's possible. It's possible. It's possible.
It's possible.
It's possible. He just spotted the person, and then
this
maybe
subject,
that the lady she's even getting married to is financially sound. You know, a stingy guy like this and then getting into contact with someone who is willing to, let's say, push in more money to himself, will quickly dump you and then go get married to him. Go get married to the new girl. So it's possible.
It's a point. All these that we are saying are in it. But I also think that this subject of being in love and someone loving you is a very important matter, because if you listen to this, and I've had so many cases to deal with, this girl does not know that this young man that she thinks is the boyfriend is really far from the relationship that she's thinking about.
Women have issues.
Oh, men also have.
Women have issues also. We've got lots of issues. We've got lots and lots of issues. It's too much.
No, we are not looking out for the real things. The stuff that tells us that
Ultimate FM.
This guy loves me, or this girl loves me. I will tell you, when you tell someone that I'm in love with you, as to I love you, they are totally two different things. Totally two different things. But that's what we say.
Yeah.
I'm in love with that girl. I'm in love with that boy. Look, it doesn't mean anything. It's just got to do with some passion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so this subject that we're going to go into, it's a very deep subject. Many people have been making mistakes, and I think that this is where the whole thing came from. The mistake that this girl has made, just like others. Because this is my boyfriend that I have dated for 3.5 years.
Yeah.
It presupposes that this girl has a set mind towards this young man, and believes that the young man is on the same page with her. It didn't work. One, for 3.5 years, there's been 3 Valentine celebrations, and this guy hasn't given you one present, and she hasn't given any reason why the man didn't give.
The first year she was okay, she was comfortable. The second year she was comfortable. The third year too she was comfortable. I think if she had talked about it, and in this case I'm sure the guy will not give but the lady would rather give. Miss, how do you mean feel? The first year I give you, even if I don't give you, it's vice versa, right? It's you're supposed to give me and I'm supposed to give you. So the first year he didn't mind you. The second year he didn't mind you. The third year he didn't mind you. And then you took it normal until this time. That's a serious. And Apostle, I think the fact that the lady said she ignored the guy for a week. Yes. In the middle of January, she decided to play hard on him. She wasn't calling him and then never returned the calls, the guy's calls. In a way, the lady had helped the guy because he was finding ways of getting away from the lady. So if you ignore his calls and other things, I think she should just stay there.
So why did she decide to just shut down for 2 weeks? This is something she should have done much earlier on the
Ultimate
relationship.
FM.
Yes, than to wait for this last minute sort of stuff. So it's clear that this girl didn't know the man she was with.
And I even think the man has even done this lady a favor, because see, imagine yourself if you agreed with this man in marriage. I mean, it's going to give you a lot of problems. So
there wasn't going to be any marriage in the first place, and the girl didn't see it. There wasn't going to be.
I think that this man has actually done the lady a favor.
Hello, Greene.
Welcome, Greene.
She's looking
I'm
splendid.
happy
like
you're
I-
here.
Looking splendid like I know. Every
Yeah.
Monday morning, she looks that way. And she won't tell us what happens. But I know what happens over the weekend. What makes you beam with smiles and sweetness every Monday? Your weekend was sweet.
Good afternoon, Apostle.
There's the voice. There's the voice. There is a voice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Apostle, how do you do?
How do you do?
The weekend, it was partly close to cloudy. It wasn't that good
Wasn't that good?
because it was short.
I can understand. He was in town, right?
It was short because I work on weekends these days.
Oh, 2 hours. Just 2 hours. We're here for just 2 hours, baby.
2 hours is a lot.
Okay, let's add 2 hours for traveling in and
In
out.
and out.
So
Still
you
a
lost only 4 hours in the whole
not
weekend.
only.
And from Friday evening to Monday morning, how many hours? 36 hours, 48 hours, and you lost only 4 hours. Oh, please don't do that. You know, this matter that is on our table today, we are looking at it, and we are sharing our thoughts. What do you think was in the mind of this lady when she sat down for 3.5 years without asking for a gift?
So, Apostle, I think since 2 weeks ago we started talking about to be loved and to love someone.
Yes, that's right.
So,
Ultimate FM.
in this situation, you can tell that this lady loved,
Okay.
but she wasn't loved.
She wasn't loved.
Okay, so she loved, so she was sacrificing. When you love, you sacrifice.
Yes.
When you love, you care. You do everything to make the relationship stand.
Work.
Okay, so she was doing everything.
And this is the case of love is blind. Totally.
Love is blind, totally. Yeah. So you don't want to lose your love. So you don't want to offend that lover, the person that you love. So you don't want to even ask for anything from him. So that's it. So she was trying to clear the worst case scenario. Unfortunately for her, the worst case scenario has shown up.
You heard me several times, and I said that any relationship that will not
Stand the test of time.
conclude within a year in marriage, pull out. Pull out. There shouldn't be any excuse. Just
But
pull out.
Apostle, this is it. Sometimes you wouldn't know. Like I said earlier,
But I think with this, the bigger picture was supposed to be seen, but she refused
Apostle is saying
That's right. The 1 year limit.
1 year limit.
Okay, yeah.
Sometimes you wouldn't know. You
Why
wouldn't.
wouldn't you know?
Men can pretend though.
Listen, listen.
The pretense, some to the extent
is-
some men
that-
will go.
That I agree with you. That is why if you know what it means to love and to be loved, you can detect that quickly.
Wow.
That's the point. You see, look, men can give excuses. The excuses must make sense to you. But 90% of the women won't look beyond the excuses. A man who is in love with you, and let me open up a little bit. Listen, if a person doesn't love you, he cannot be in love with you. I'm opening up the secrets that we are going to learn. It will blow your mind that I love you is better than I am falling in love with you, or I have fallen in love with you. The real meaning, if you're looking at romantic, I love you is better. It's more deep.
You are more certain.
Thank you.
Ultimate
I'm in love
FM.
with you. When you say that, you are talking about certain things about the person. Your beauty, the way you dress, the way you talk. So that is what is attracting me to you. And that brings some passion, that we can have some intimacy. But it's all based on something which cannot really last, stand the test of time. So if you look at this girl's case, she loved the guy and was not able to know that the guy doesn't love her, and that the guy is pretending to be in love. Again, I don't like the idea that she concentrated so much on gifts, and that Valentine 3 times that's not serious. I mean, Valentine gifts. You are looking beyond Valentine. No, today we are exaggerating Valentine to look as if it's romantic love, but the original meaning of Valentine has nothing to do with romantic love. And I think if you give somebody a present on Valentine, it's deeper than romantic stuff, because that Valentine is based on true love, and this kind of true love has to do with the welfare. So you care for the person. If I fall in love with somebody, now say I love somebody, I'm thinking deep about 5 years from now. How do I want to see her 10 years from now? That's my point.
Yeah.
That has been with me. So I am thinking, I'm putting myself in your shoes, and I'm thinking how your life will be 5 years from now. Is it going to be a happy one? Is it that's exactly what it means by I love someone. So what we've been doing around, we're joking, and I'm sure that this seminar will be able to blow the whole thing up and then be able to get people to think.
Yeah.
But today, the psychology of love. Let me just start a little bit, if I can. What will you say about the psychology of that psychology? I just read a little bit, and I got to know that we have some chemicals in our brains that also contribute to what we call love. My God, what a God we serve. Chemicals in our brains. I'm going to take Dachihima to the clinic. I'm going to get those guys at the laboratory to pull some chemicals from her brains and let's test it. I want to know what's going on in her brain. Yeah. Dachihima.
Yes, Papa.
Look at this. Love has to go with some chemicals that's flowing in your brain. My God. Doctor will have a lot to talk about. We need to understand the psychology of love. And I think when people really understand this, it will help them to know even their condition. What am I thinking about? Because it appears that it's the passion and the intimacy that people are looking at, and that's what people call love. So misunderstanding the whole idea of love is really big. I got to know when I was reading the notes that there are people who have married for 20 years and really they've not been in love with one another.
So why did they get married in the first place?
So you see what it is?
Yeah.
And these are research by PhD holders, some of them clinical psychologists, some of them therapists in relationship, and they are saying that their research suggested that people were married 20 years, 15 years, and they only existed because they loved one another, and they have never fallen in love with each other. It's a serious matter.
Yeah.
We have to understand it. Maybe that's why relationships don't last, and there is pain. Now, there are a lot of pains in relationship. Am I right about that? Greene,
Yeah,
you have young friends.
of course.
They've been telling you their story. What have you heard?
You know, some wouldn't open up. Some would actually refer it as something that a friend rather is going
Yeah.
through.
But that's fine.
But they would, share it with you.
See, we'll be going through the
Ultimate
differences between love and being loved. But let me see if I can just talk a little bit about this psychology thing. I was very excited just going through that. The psychology of love. First time going deep about it. You hear it in the lecture hall, and because we are not studying, we don't go deep.
Yeah.
But when we come to listen, we get to know. The whole thing about the psychology of love has to do with what you're perceiving up there. And we are told that we are aided by some chemicals in our brains that come together to send us into that position. I really don't want to go deep into it, but if anybody told you that it's because some chemicals in there are not functioning right, that's why you can't love right, would you?
I wouldn't agree.
You wouldn't agree. Yeah. You would think it's a fault of that person. You wouldn't agree. That's the truth. So maybe what we have to start thinking about is that sometimes these are our partners that we fight them thinking that they don't love us. Maybe it's not true. My ladies are quiet. I'm in the studios with 3 beautiful ladies, and the statement that I made, each one is sitting by the microphone. I think they are thinking, did I make any sensible statement? Did I?
A lot.
Eh?
A lot, Apostle.
You like a lot, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, sometimes we need to understand a few things. Now, this girl, if the news had not come that somebody else was going to be married to him within 2 weeks, I would have looked at him in a different light. I would have thought that he's the type of person who loves this girl, but has not been able to communicate it right. All right? Yes. This girl, she never ever asked for any financial assistance. Is it wrong? Yes or no?
Ultimate FM.
Yes, because once you are dating, you ought to be careful how you communicate needs. If a need is not met by your fiancé, love is questionable. And I'm saying need. Want, relax. when you are married, you can look at wants, but needs must be met. All right?
Yeah.
So when this girl went and said that, I haven't asked you for anything, but my laptop, the screen has cracked. You have to go to take a loan, even if you don't have, to bring to this girl, because it's a need. That's her whole life. That's what she does. For me, I'll go get a loan if I don't have
And
it.
also get a loan for someone you find yourself in a relationship but not yet married to.
But you have asked the lady to hang on for 3.5 years until you tell her marriage is not coming on. I mean, you should be responsible.
Go in for a loan.
A loan?
Yeah.
That's the least you can do.
That's the least you can do.
Oh, really?
Listen, so your fiance's mother
That's what I
needs
was
to
just
undergo
saying.
surgery.
I was just about saying that.
Undergo surgery. Say, I'm not married to you.
No, I think that is tangible enough.
No, this one too is tangible. Listen, this one too is
Assuming her
tangible.
laptop is also what puts food on her table.
Yes.
You say, well,
To keep her in shape for you to come back later and marry her. So you have to place all these things in a good context, right? So that you can separate the needs. Oh, all right. From wants. And I think that this young man demonstrated with that singular act that really he's wasted the time of this young man, this young lady, and I feel sad for this girl. My question: why didn't she know all this while? And I want each of you to give me an answer. Each of you, share your thoughts. How can this girl be with a young man 3.5 years? You never asked for anything, and the one time you said, I need help, and it was so important, this guy can refuse, and you don't know.
What's all this? It's possible she was being attended to
Ultimate FM.
in other ways in the relationship. It's possible it's only money, like financial support, that she wasn't getting from the guy. And then according to her, she said she was being independent in the relationship.
There's a point.
Yes. It was only her finances that she wasn't getting the support from the guy. So
she wasn't asking for the support.
She wasn't asking for the support. So in other words, it's possible she was being satisfied
in other areas.
Yes. So it was until she needed financial support from the guy that the guy refused, not knowing the guy had a different agenda. If she had started asking for financial support from the guy, but this is not even the case. There are some ladies who if you don't support them, they are cool. If you don't support them, they strive themselves to survive. So she didn't look at that side, and she didn't see this coming. If she knew this would have generated into the guy getting married to someone else, I'm sure because she knew it wouldn't take her anywhere. The relationship wasn't going to go anywhere.
No, but why stay in and collect? Why don't you just walk away? If the relationship isn't going to work, why worry about taking monies and stuff like that?
She didn't know.
Okay.
She didn't know. Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to ask a question, and then you just took my mind off. I was going to ask a question. All right. The idea that for 3 Valentine celebrations you didn't receive a gift, you didn't ask for a gift, shouldn't that communicate something about
Well, I think that she knew, because looking at the whole situation, she made mention that she's not a money type, but she has been dancing to this gentleman's tune.
Okay.
See, there are times, ladies, because we are so much
Too much
into
submissive.
the person, we overlook things. So even if this is telling us that this is what the man does,
what you just said,
this is the clear evidence that he's not interested. But then we try to lie to ourselves that, oh no, because of this, and then we try to defend the person in our mind just because we like them. So I think she knew.
Singing to the man's tunes. Let's break this down. It's a very serious statement.
Yeah.
So the lady couldn't have a mind of her own.
And so the guy was actually manipulative. I see the guy to be manipulative type.
Why the word manipulative? You know, the thing is that the girl is just refusing to do something. So it's not about manipulating. Yeah.
It goes beyond.
Yes.
He has eaten the lady's mind. Okay, he has eaten into it, the lady's mind. So whatever he says is what the lady does. Apostle.
No.
That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
You
That's
can,
how I feel
you
it
mean
is.
you can influence a lady's mind so much that
Honestly,
she refuses to think.
about herself.
Yeah.
It happens. Come on, in so many relationships, that ladies or even guys have fallen head over heels for someone. They forget about themselves. They become selfless. They forget to think because they're waiting to respond to what their partner is saying.
They want to do something.
They're always
to
at their
impress.
beck and call, just to impress the partner, for them to know that, hey,
I won't be in a relationship like that.
Oh, yeah,
because
but,
I want to tap into the mentality of the lady. I want the lady to help me think.
I also have to think.
What? I want to know you are intelligent.
Exactly. Make me think for me.
Yes.
And I'll bring my idea to the table.
Oh, I even will offload the problem and see how you think about it.
I knew that this lady loves him so much, so he was manipulating.
Well,
he started making her do things that
I'm beginning to think
he
that
would benefit.
this guy
benefit.
didn't think this lady was up to the way he liked to live. Possibly. Because you can't be dancing to the tune of a man you're not married to.
Yeah.
So the issue is, if I'm married to you, I leave you with the kids and I'm not available, you can't even solve problems. Every time, where's my husband? You call me on phone. Oh, Jesus Christ.
And you know, when men find out that you are that kind of
you're
know
not
that
going.
you are not in the future.
Yeah.
Didn't I
They
tell
don't
you?
find you in the future.
Didn't I tell you that every good man, wise man, wants a strong woman?
Yeah.
If a woman is not strong, make her strong.
Yeah, sometimes fight him.
Fight him. A beautiful girl like you can fight the man.
Fighting.
Okay. Oppose the ideas.
Yeah.
Get into argument without throwing cutlery sets.
Yeah.
That's my point.
I like that.
Yeah.
So
you know, sometimes bring your ideas. You have to combat on it
and insist. Prove that yours is better than mine.
It's not wrong to do that.
And unfortunately, we need to wrap up because we have some few minutes left to say goodbye. Okay. Yeah.
That's well. So we have started the discussion. We're going to continue tomorrow.
Ultimate FM.
But this month is a loud month. What is tomorrow's date?
14th.
Valentine.
Yeah. You are lost of time.
I'm lost.
All right, but we had some people who reacted to issue for the day. And Gloria says, you should have got the hint earlier, but it's not too late. He's clearly not yours, so move on with your life. You can't stop going to church because of him, so just ask God to direct you. And Teofilo Sensen says, interesting. Just interesting. He sent that. Yeah, so you can also react to issue of the day, or if you actually want to react to.
But can the two of them stay in the same church after the guy is married?
The lady should be strong. The lady should be strong. Okay, if she's strong enough, she will stay. If she's not strong enough, she should just move on. Find another church.
I don't think that should be
Go
a
and
reason
find.
why.
Oh, she might find.
Even if you are strong, you have to quit that church.
The guy will have to quit.
No,
the guy will have to quit.
Well, yeah, if you are strong, you can stay in the church.
Yeah, I mean,
and do your thing.
Yeah.
And
Everybody would be pointing hands at you.
oh no, you
But
rather
they will
people will
rather
sympathize
blame
with
the
you.
guy.
People will
No, you know
sympathize with
some
you.
guys,
Yeah.
the things that he would tell people about you,
That's a sad.
that will
part.
make you
No,
leave.
perhaps he's
He would-
been telling lies about you, painting you dark,
That is why they see her at church and then we pointing fingers at her.
It could be that those information have already gone already. That's why the guy will have the impetus to bring another woman there for a wedding.
The lady should just leave. She should leave. The leaders of the church didn't do a good job. They didn't do a good job
but
at all.
Yes, but the lady should approach the leaders now.
For what?
Oh no, it's
Apostle,
okay. No, you see, the
The
best
harm
way.
has already been done.
No. The best way to leave any relationship, corporate or personal, romantic, whatever.
It's possible God made it happen.
Is it too late for the lady to also step in this?
Sure.
It's possible.
But
It's possible
yes,
God made it happen. So
God
she just
can do it
leave.
that way. But you see,
Move on.
But you see,
For
you have to move on and out of the relationship
It's
in
not.
a
It's
very
not late.
gentle way.
It's not. It's not. Greene is asking if it's too late for the lady to stop the wedding. It's not late. This lady should just go and talk to lawyer Maurice Ampao.
It's already late
For
because
3.5 years. Oh, no,
You have to
even if
pay
it's
something.
tomorrow, she can act today.
Now, what do you get out of it? Because
Apostle.
that will not bring you marriage.
For 3.5, even
Yes,
if it's
it will
6
not bring you
months,
marriage.
as long as she has washed for him before, slept with him before, cooked.
No, listen.
It's not late. 3.5 years.
No.
Apostle.
It can be
Ultimate
made. It
FM.
can be thrown off board if you went in legally. It will be thrown off board.
So she should just let the guy
Yes.
go
She
her
should just
go
move
her
on.
way and move
Yes,
I
on.
think
that's
so.
right. That's
Yeah.
right. Because
in
the,
our
the,
time,
the
our
lawyers
time.
don't think these lawyers are easy. They can go to court and mess the whole thing up. Because
Relationship is something else. Oh.
yes,
It is
I know.
something
I know
else.
a case. I know a case where the lady was asked, "Did you enjoy the relationship?" He said, "Yes." And who should pay for it? You look stupid. Excuse me to say.
I think you both had something.
So that's it. Yep.
Yeah. So unfortunately, our time is up.
But we're back tomorrow.
Yeah, going
We'll
tomorrow.
be talking more about it.
Yes, definitely. This should be a continuing subject.